이번에는 나라밖 소식입니다. 유럽의 많은 교회가 쇠퇴하는 반면 조지아의 기독교는 전례 없는 영적 부흥을 누리고 있다고 합니다. 그 이유는 조지아의 기독교를 이끈 124 2세 대주교 때문이라고 하는데요. 조지아에서 전해온 소식입니다.
Installed back on Christmas Day 1977, and since then he has managed to single-handedly revive the Georgian Orthodox Church. He took over at a time when Christianity was under severe persecution from the Soviet government.
The Bolshevik invasion in 1921 witnessed the unmerciful destruction of churches and monasteries across Georgia.
Sergo Vardortsanidze is a professor of Georgian history.
There were 1,500 churches and 1,600 clergymen active in Georgia. When the Patriarch was installed, there were only 50 churches and barely 70 priests remaining.
He initiated a range of reforms to rebuild the church, including an emphasis on young people.
He reached out to the youth, encouraging them to attend church and to consider the priesthood. He also took steps to make church services more engaging and easier to listen to.
The church showed signs of revival in the late 1980s. Men like Ione Gamarekeli, impressed by the Patriarch's humility and dedication to service, decided to join the priesthood.
The Patriarch stretched out his hands to the people and the people responded. He preached God's word and people turned to God.
Then came the Soviet Union collapse in the late 90s, which led to Christianity's renewal. The changes have since been profound. Now there are more than 2,000 active churches, with new ones being built every year, like this massive structure rising on the outskirts of Tbilisi. Also, more than 3,000 people have joined the priesthood, serving the spiritual needs of Georgia's nearly 4 million people.
It has been said that the Patriarch inherited a church that was severely persecuted and covered in shroud. Now it is a living body.
Nearly 3 hours after arriving for the service, a slow and frail Patriarch Ilya II finally makes his way through the throngs of worshippers that have gathered to hear him speak this Sunday morning. CBN News is granted unprecedented access to film as hundreds of men, women, and children line the ornate halls of Holy Trinity Cathedral to receive a prayer or special blessing.
The Patriarch always says that all that's been achieved during his reign is because of the Lord's will.
After decades of religious repression, many are grateful that the church in Georgia has not only survived, but is thriving, thanks in part to one man's desire to bring his nation closer to God.
Many kind achievements have been accomplished, and I thank God for letting me undertake such endeavors for our nation.
George Thomas, CBN News, in Tbilisi, Georgia.